So Nnamdi, I know you're a big fan of Guy and
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Riley specifically. And there is one constant in a lot of those hits with Guy, and I think that um, the main ingredient besides Teddy Riley's great production and innovative production was the voice of Aaron Hall.
Okay.
So Aaron Hall, has brought us his voice has brought us so many memories with like songs like Piece of My Love, I
Mm.
Like, shout out I Like Challenge. That's seemingly come out of nowhere. I don't know whose auntie decided to get up on Instagram or TikTok and start the I Like, but thank you for bringing back that music. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, but Aaron Hall's brought us so many great songs like Let's Chill vocally.
Yeah.
So, I was excited for his solo career, even though I was sad that Guy had officially broke up in the
Yeah.
early 90s. I was excited to see what they would all go on to do individually. And of course, Teddy continued his successful career creating the group Blackstreet and producing Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Um, and Aaron, one of the most visible and recognizable members of Guy, went
Mm.
on to have a solo career that it had a couple of bright spots, but it kind of stalled, I would say, in the mid to late 90s.
Mm.
What do you attribute to that? Do you think his career could have been bigger, or what are your thoughts about
Yeah.
that?
His album was it called The Truth?
I'm sorry.
His debut album was called The Truth.
It was called The Truth.
Yeah. So I remember getting the album rushed out when it came out, and he had, and mind you, one of the first singles he came out with outside of Guy was
Don't be
uh,
afraid.
"Don't Be Afraid" on the Juice soundtrack, and it was
Hmm.
it was a different song from what he did in the Guy, and it was good. Then when he came out with his album, he came out with some fast tracks, which
Get a little freaky.
get a little freaky, yeah.
Get a
And
little freaky with me.
the problem he came out with that is without. It is almost like when you think of rock stars and their lead guitarists, they have that's it, Bono and the Edge, and they just have the way of marrying each other. And Teddy knew how to get the best out of Aaron's voice as a producer. I think there's no one. He just knew how to get the best of Aaron, and the fast tracks on that album were not great. And actually, the album was falling until he came out with I Miss You," and the video, kind of felt very emotional. I was like, that's that the video. Whoever came up with the video concept saved.
Yes, I
That
do
that
believe that video
that
sold the
video
song.
sold the song because the song was okay, but it was the video because it was like, wow, it was very emotional. And then after that, when you need me, to help the album just creep to platinum.
Hmm.
But then the sound that he chose that was fading away because you had Mr. R. Kelly, you had
Mm.
intro, you started having the I think joke, but most of the guys who were singers started to slow it down. The mood changed. They had a very different vibe in how they were singing, and Aaron was still almost thinking, "Well, I'm the voice. I can still manage that." And I heard Damien in an interview with on a big podcast saying that when R. Kelly took his style, he should have said, "Okay, man, you don't take my style. Come and do some work for me." But instead, he tried to dismiss R. Kelly, and R. Kelly being not just a song singer, but he was a songwriter and a producer, and his style, and he took the style and actually he even took the cane in 12th
Hmm.
place. He's standing
Sure
with the
did.
cane, and
Went ball
if
head.
they took everything, and if I had to pick between the two, I mean, I think Aaron without Teddy, he lost his mojo, and then R. Kelly just knocked him off the park, and
Hmm.
he just didn't seem like he had it in him to keep going, um, because as I said, his his I just wish that he had been a little bit more um, thoughtful to think, okay, you know what, what's going on around me? Maybe I need to hook up with the producers who are hot. You know, maybe I need to, change my style. I've got the voice, but he didn't. I didn't see much of that.
Well, another thing too, do you think that Aaron should have stayed with Uptown because he did switch labels to Silas
Yeah,
Records, and I'm assuming they probably offered him a little bit more money. But do you think it might have been smarter for him to stay with a hip, happening, for lack of a better term, company like Uptown that still had the pulse of, the
the
youth?
streets. Yeah, they had
Um,
Jodeci. Yeah, they had Jodeci, and they and Mary, and they probably um, but because I think he thought Low Sal being sort of a heavyweight, and he probably said, "Look, this is my label that I'm starting off with, and I
mhm,
need you to, to sort of spearhead it with me, with Shante Moore and your brother." And unfortunately for everyone, that Lowell, who when you speak to anyone who knows him, like from Ready to the World, and they all would say how brilliant he was. But I think when he took
he
over his
was.
own label, there wasn't many hits when he became when it was his label and stuff. I don't think he got many hits, and I just think that Aaron should have just should have read the pulse, look at the chart. It's not. I don't know if it's that hard. You're a songwriter. Is it hard to look at what's happening? What's hot? Okay, R. Kelly. Wow, intro that type of song. Oh, H Town. Hmm. Do you then
Right.
think, should I then try and, it's not like, try and get that type of sound to see how it fits my voice and work with that type of production as opposed to the direction he went to, where the songs were okay, but they weren't, as I said, even I Miss You, because of the video, I remember the track, but I can't, nothing else. I mean, I love the remake of um, um, Don't Be Afraid. I like the he had a jazz
Okay.
version of it on his album.
Yeah. He
Um,
had like three different versions of
he
it.
had really, I like the jazz version that which was on his album, and I also didn't mind Baby Come Close to My Heart. But when he did, I can see the video. He was like when it was in the snow area and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
so
Was that
that
the one where the horse is in the video and it's walking?
yeah, it
Like
was
the
almost
woman's
like an
walking the horse. That was his girlfriend at the time.
yeah. So I think
I like that song too. I
yeah
think that somebody should sample those songs. I think those are good songs. But I get what you're saying. I feel like I would have preferred, especially Damien as well. I think Damien would have did better on Uptown as well because he was younger. And
yeah,
I
he
felt
shouldn't have
like
followed his
he would have
yeah.
did better with a younger sound, like that Uptown sound with her, the Puff Daddy, the I'll Be Sure producing the records. But
Mm,
with Aaron, I think that music, especially around the time he released his debut, 93, music definitely was taking a turn. And for
mm,
whatever reason, I think they just didn't read the room and read what was going on. And that album was already done. But I thought the album was okay. I was very disappointed because he was very influential to so many artists, not only R. Kelly, but a lot of artists. I think a lot of people kind of swooped in and took some of his stuff. And
yeah.
um,
But there was no follow up album
I don't
after
know.
that. And that other album
They
went
just really
gold.
did.
He
The
didn't have
second
a
one,
did he have a
when
second
he had
album?
like All the Kisses, yeah, All the Kisses was
Wow.
kind of a hit, and that was it from that album. But I did like a couple of songs off that album, but I personally don't. That should have been on my most disappointing albums list.
So he
The
had a
second
sophomore
album,
album. I
yeah,
didn't
it's called
realize he
Inside of You. I
wow.
only like two songs. I like All the Kisses and the song he did with Faith, If You Leave Me Now, and that's it. I don't like that album.
Wow,
But yeah, he actually had a third album too. But that was on an independent album.
what?
But I mean, independent label. Yeah, but like I said, I was so disappointed because he was such a big part of my like childhood, listening
Yeah,
to his
yeah.
albums back to back to back to back. And I kept thinking, now at first I fooled myself listening to the first album. I'm like, okay, it's a little different. And I told
No.
myself I like it because it's up tempo. Because I told you I like usually like up tempo
I like up tempo.
when I was a
Okay.
kid. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, these are fast, but they weren't Teddy. They didn't have that Teddy
Yeah,
snatchiness.
that's what I said. He knew
So they
how to,
didn't
yeah.
stick. And he wrote a lot of the lyrics, which he's not a bad songwriter, but I think he could, he could have used a little of that Timmy, which I don't understand it. Why didn't okay, the Timmy situation, okay, that fell apart, but why could no one, humble themselves and say, hey, I know that went south there, but you're a great songwriter, Timmy.
Yeah, look what you
Come in,
did
let me
for
go on my
Christopher
day.
Williams. Look what you did for Barry's
Yes.
BBD and all these other people. You're writing hits for these guys. Come and work with me because you know maybe Um, I wonder because I saw him on an interview. When he was dissing Teddy. I just wonder. He just seems, and then he had a personal life wasn't going great, and I just wonder if he just went, just had a, he just the personal life caught up with him and
Yeah,
his
I think there was
and
some
stuff.
things going on. Yeah, because I think for all parties involved, it would have been better to leave the drama and the dissing and the beef out of the public eye.
Yeah,
We, because now, whenever any group, because once you do that, the public is aware of it. So anytime you do come back together for a reunion, we suspect it's just for money and not that you guys want to come back together.
mm,
So anyway, well, guys, let us know what's your thoughts. Do you think Aaron Hall could have been a bigger artist, or
yeah,
do you feel like no, that's about what he would have did solo? I don't know. I would have loved for him to have a bigger career. But again, at the same time, I do recognize nothing is guaranteed in the industry. So let us know
yeah.
your thoughts and check in next time with us on the next episode of Can We Talk R&B podcast, guys.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks again for watching, guys.
And before we go, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Yeah, and also remember to turn on the notification so you can know when we have another show. But thanks again.
That too.